And coming up on this episode of the Marty Mariner Show, yes, it's the episode 2 of our The Mariners Way series, heading into that blockbuster at Industry Group Stadium on Saturday night. I absolutely can't wait to be there. The Central Coast Mariners versus Sydney FC, holding a 2-1 lead from the first leg, but there is still plenty of work to do. It is only half time, and we haven't had much luck against Sydney this year. It only took last week where we got a result. We know what they are capable of. And beware the wounded beast. We've heard Jacko say, and I'm 100% behind that too. I just know these boys are going to be fired up, pumped, and ready. And how good would it be to have that grand final to get to one and to have it at Industry Group will be absolutely sensational. But plenty of work to be done before then. Hope you got to see our episode that we put out yesterday. Massive thank you once again to Aaron Morrow, to Dan Challenor, Dan the man, one absolute legend that bloke is. And Dan from Coast FM 963, the 18 football. He'll be doing his thing on the sideline there Saturday night as well. It was great catching up with the fellas and talking a bit about the season, the women's season as well, AFC Cup, Club Championship, and of course we spoke a little bit about the game from last week and also the game on Saturday night. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do so. Well, we're going from off the field to on the field with a couple of absolute legends that I really enjoy catching up with, and it's great that they're both going to be on the show tonight. The first guy is going to be in the middle of the park come Saturday night. Well, at least I hope he is. We obviously don't know lineups just yet. But he met up with us early in the year before his debut. Bradley Tapp called in for a bit of a chat, bit of a teamwork, bit of a conversation. And, we had a good chat then. And this time around, we talked from that point on what it was like for his debut, obviously the setback with injury. And then this build up through the season, playing in countries all over the world, the successes that came with it. But you'll definitely see the focus that these guys still have, and they're far from job done when it comes to this season. So it's great to catch up with Tappy, and you'll see that interview very, very shortly. And well, this other bloke this time last year was preparing for finals himself for the mighty Central Coast Mariners. Ultimately starred in a grand final as well, and he's currently out there in Europe enjoying a bit of a break from the English Championship, where he's plying his trade at Middlesborough. Sammy Silvera, who has always been a favourite of mine, and it was great that he was able to make some time to have a bit of a catch up. We talk about his move to Middlesbrough, his memories of last year, playing for the Socceroos, and of course he's been following the mighty yellow and blue this season. So we talked to him a little bit about that too. A couple of absolute legends joining us for a chat. Make sure you stick around and watch it. Don't forget too, if you haven't done so already, we've got a brand new Facebook page. The logo is the one with the black background with the white. Make sure you come and check us out. Give it a follow. Hit the like button. Do whatever you need to be doing there. And by all means, share these videos around as well. They are yours to enjoy. All right, well, Mr. Tapp is in the green room. He is ready and waiting, and I do not want to keep the legend long waiting around because he's got a big game to play on Saturday night. And let's get him out here and have a bit of a chat and get this show underway. Episode 2, The Mariners Way. It's the Marty Mariner Show. And welcome back to the Marty Mariner Show. And on this cast of thousands that we're having for these the second semi-final coming up this weekend, and we had to put out a couple of pods for it. And, well, how could we not have this fella on? He's been an absolute tower of strength in the middle of the park. Bradley Tapp, welcome back to the Marty Mariner Show, mate. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me again. How have
No
you
worries,
been?
mate. No worries, mate. Got some rave reviews last time you were on, mate. So, yeah, more than happy to have you on again.
Beautiful.
Mate, First time around, when we chatted, that was just pre your first game, your
Yeah.
debut and stuff like that. How was it? Was it those first couple of games? Was it as you expected? Was it did the nerves hit you a bit more? Was it just water off a duck's back? How was it for you?
Yeah, I guess sort of, growing up imagining how your first game is going to be, you're going to have that sort of nervous feeling, I guess. But with me, that first game, as soon as I sort of stepped over that white line for the warm up, I was like, I deserve to be here and this is where I want to be. So I sort of took that as motivation into the game. But yeah, there was definitely a bit of nerves leading up to the game in the dressing rooms before. But yeah, that warm up sort of just cleared everything, which was good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm sure Jacko would have had a few words in your ear. But was there any of the boys in particular that kind of really helped you kind of settle into the whole thing?
Yeah, all the boys they're great. They help me learn every day. They're like brothers to me. So I think I can't really remember exactly what they were saying, but they were definitely sort of, backing me up saying, you deserve to be here as well. So you're
Yeah,
one of us now. And yeah, went out there and helped me play. So it was good.
absolutely. And it was a great start for you too. I do know in that first interview we talked about injury that you sort of come back from previously, and then you copped a knock yourself.
Yeah.
How did that go confidence wise? Because you had come back from injury, you'd fought your way in, you got a starting spot, found your way, you were going really well, and all of a sudden you get an injury. It must have been a bit, well, it was devastating for you to think, here we go again, right?
Yeah. So I think it was Unite round. I think I missed that
Yeah,
game against Melbourne Victory, and then I sort of was thinking, okay, it can't be that bad because I'll be back next week against City, and then I think like 10 minutes in again, I twisted and felt it, got through to 60, but then I just knew I wasn't right. Something was going wrong in there. So the next Monday morning, I got a scan and it came back that I partially torn my ACL again. So I was a bit devastated and wasn't really sure what was going to go on, how we were going to proceed with it all. So Nick, Van Reed, John, Brycey, Kay, they were fantastic again. They sort of helped me through, and the surgeon gave me sort of two options. He said, look, you can have surgery again or you can keep playing, and if it goes again, it goes.
yeah.
So I thought, well, may as well give it a go. And luckily I'm still here now. But yeah, in that meantime, sort of took 4 or 5 weeks to get it as strong as possible. And I think that's why I play with if you see me, I play with the tape on every game just to make sure that it doesn't go again. So fingers crossed at the moment that it's holding up.
Yeah, no, she looks like she's going all right, mate. The way that
Yeah.
you're playing is going really, really well.
Yeah.
And and was it more of a psychological battle for you this time around? Was it kind of like, because I know we spoke last time about that psychological battle of coming back from injury, but with this, was this just another whack and you're going, what do I have to do here?
Yeah, very much so. I finally, got that starting debut. I finally played a couple games and I'm thinking, all right, well, surely this is where I take off now. I can keep going. And then that hits at the worst time. And, I'm doing another stint on the sidelines with rehab. And I'm thinking, what have I got to do just to get a clean run? But
Yeah,
I guess it was sort of motivation as well in a sense, because I played that 3 games and it made me hungry to want more. So, yeah, after I came back from that, I thought I'm just going to do everything I possibly can just to be right.
and I remember talking to you at the time too, and even though we could tell that you weren't in the happiest of places, but your motivation was still there. You were like, no, I've had a taste of this.
Of
I
course,
want
yeah.
more, right? You stayed positive with it.
Yeah, of course, and that sort of comes with the boys doing so well as well. Like if the way the boys were carrying themselves on and off the field, the results they were picking up makes me want to be part of it. And
Yeah,
just seeing them flourish means I want to yeah I want to taste of this even more. So yeah, they've been massive.
absolutely. And of course, play next to Maxi all the time, and he's just had an absolutely outstanding
Yeah,
season this year. Um, what have you learned from Max Ballard? Because even to me this year, seems a bit more open in his play to sort of go forward, and some of the balls he's been able to put through. But playing next to him, what have you picked up from Maxi that you might not have had in your kit bag at the start of the year?
yeah. I just I think Maxi he's had an outstanding season. He's gone to another level. I think just I know playing alongside him on the field, he does some things you think, oh, how have you done that? Passes he sees, he's so good at reading the game. His intelligence is up there. So just sort of not even really talking to him, but just observing him and just watching the way he deals with things. And you can tell he's had a lot of experience and he's starting to, you know, take that confidence to another level, which is good. And to see him finally score a few goals this year was something that was really pleasing, because I know he's been on his mind for a few months now. So yeah, he's just gone to another level this year, and just honoured to be next to him.
Absolutely, man. And yeah, we'll talk about goals in a minute because I might have been one of those people in his ear every week about scoring a goal. My sports
Yeah.
account took a bit of a battering, but anyway, we'll talk about that one a bit later. Mate,
Uh,
a big favourite of mine as well, Harry Steele.
yeah.
Between the three of you, I know Harry's a real character and he's real, he's such a team fella. What was he there at training, with a stick trying to test out your legs to make sure you were right, mate? You had a rest this week. What's he been like for you?
Oh no, still he's top lad. He's one of my close mates as well. We're all a tight knit group of boys. So
Yeah,
I think that's part of the reason why we're so good is because we're all close and we've all got that competitive nature. And Dealey, Max, myself, Nizzy, Maxim as well. We're all fighting for that place. And if one of us comes off, the other one can come on, do a job. So it's
yeah,
not a case of that toxic environment or that culture, but we're
yeah,
so close that we know that anyone can do a job. But
yeah.
yeah, I think I did a stint of rehab with Steely, and we both wanted to get back, and we're both pushing each other to get back. So it's good to see that he overcome his bad
Yeah,
ankle injury. He had a bit of a horrible stint there with his
yeah,
knee and his ankle. So I'm just glad that he's back out and he's fully fit.
absolutely. No, we all rate Harry big time, and
Yeah,
who knows what combination will be in that midfield in the years ahead
that's it.
to see flourish and stuff like that too. And I mean, I wasn't going to bring up goals, but you did, so let's just go with it. Josh Nisbet starts putting a few in the back of the net, and that was good to see. And then we saw Maxi pop a couple away, and
Yeah,
he's been going all right. And even the aforementioned Harry Seal scores one from about, well, I think it was 20 yards out, but he's probably going to say it's out to probably about 30 yards now in the F3 derby, and he's
yeah.
put one in the back of the net. When's Brad Tapp going to get on that score sheet? Are they starting to get in your ear now and start, giving you some words of advice?
Yeah, I think it's definitely coming. I got that disallowed one in my first game, and I think it's so the pressure was off me. I think, all right, you can put one in the back of
Yeah,
the net, but
yeah,
as games keep going on and I'm not scoring, that pressure's going to keep building up. But
yeah.
I've had a few shots. I'm not known for my shooting, but hopefully, sooner or later, one gets put in the back of the net.
Absolutely, mate. Well, as I
Yeah,
said, if Maxi and Harry can start putting you in the back of the old onion bag, mate, I'm sure that
that's it.
Bradley Tapp can do the same. And
Hopefully,
hey,
fingers crossed.
Saturday night would be a cracker too, mate. Just on the
Oh,
quiet.
that'll be it.
How good would that be?
Yeah,
So moving through the season, we didn't have the best of starts in the season, 4 down. Spoken to Jacko a lot, and as much as you sometimes must think, how am I going? Is this going to be the seat? But things started going well. He never lost faith in what the message was, and with you guys, does it just keep on building game by game? Was it just believing we're in this together and we'll be okay?
yeah, exactly right. When Jacko and Danny and Andreas came in, it was such a different style we've played before. So obviously that's going to take its time to get used to, and all the changes coming around. And a few boys were obviously a bit like, "Oh, what are we doing now?" But
Yeah,
as we sort of kept playing games and games, and I think that's what Asia helped us massively. Just kept playing games, getting used to the style of play that Jacko and Danny want us to play. But
yeah,
like you said, we stuck together and we stuck to our processes, and it's done wonders now. And we're all in it together. We have that mentality of sticking together, and we won't back down. So I think just sticking to our guns and playing the way we want to play is just what helped us get wins. Even in 90 plus minutes, sticking to our style of football has helped us win games and helped us win the premiership and win Asia.
yeah, absolutely. And we might just touch on that a little bit later as
Yeah.
well. I was talking about this on the panel last night. The amount of away trips that you had, especially with the Asian Cup, like there were teams that we played against that probably weren't, shall we say, A League standard, but
Yeah.
we still have to go out there and get a result on sometimes not so good pitches to play on.
Yeah.
Was that a benefit for you guys after the start we had? The more football, the better to get out there on the park and just keep on playing, as well as I guess the bonding side off the field. But was that just such a benefit for you guys to just keep on playing games and keep doing what you were doing?
100%. The football side of things, every footballer wants to play games, especially being young coming in. You just want to play as many games as you can
Yeah,
and to play it with boys that, you get along with. There's no better feeling.
yeah,
So it's just, yeah, it was a massive benefit. Just kept playing games, obviously the travel was a bit hard at times, and all those flights that we got stuck on, and
Yeah.
sometimes we didn't have it our way, or the pitch wasn't the best, and we didn't have a lot of information on teams. But yeah, we at the end of the day, like we just got the job done, and that was our biggest motto: is just come here, get the job done, and we go home. That was
Yeah.
basically it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, you played against teams, and I'm not even going to do them the injustice of trying to announce their names. God knows how they announce them.
yeah.
But I mean, was it just a case? And I guess it brings it back, doesn't it? That it's just focus on our own game. Like we don't know too much about them. Let's just do well what we know how to do, right?
Exactly right. But saying that, we try to play our game as best we can, but sometimes that's not the case. For example, like Kyrgyzstan,
Yeah,
they didn't have the best pitch.
yeah,
I think for kickoff, I had to kick down two sprinklers just
yeah,
as I was walking out. We were about to kick off. So,
yeah,
we still try to play our football, and it doesn't come off all the time. But as long as we stick to our philosophy, that's all we can really do.
yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, you're right. This means some of the quality of the pitches probably wasn't the best, and then you come back and you play on industry group stadium. It
Oh
must have
yeah.
felt like playing on a billiard table, right?
Oh, it was beautiful. When we came back after that Kyrgyzstan trip and we played at Gosford, it was like carpet. It's just playing on carpet. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was amazing.
it would have been. And I know I spoke to you too during the season about the ball was actually different in the Asian Cup as
Yeah.
well. So, was it, I think you said it was slightly lighter ball than normal. And playing on these different pitches, it must have almost been like playing ping pong or something.
Yeah, yeah. The balls were so light, it felt
Yeah,
like at times they were like balloons,
yeah,
so
yeah,
like you couldn't really judge the bounce in some pitches, but once you got the hang of it, it was all right. But yeah, we'd have to change from the A League balls to the AFC balls in training weeks, depending on our next fixture. But yeah, we got the hang of it in the end, and yeah, did us justice.
yeah. Was there a moment in the season, either for yourself or amongst the squad, where you thought we're actually progressing well in this AFC Cup thing, and we're actually doing all right in the league right now?
Yeah.
We're going all right this year, and a bit of a smile comes to the face. Was there moments in the year where you start thinking you don't want to get too far ahead, but we're going all right?
Yeah, well, I think pretty early on we sort of were saying about the treble. We were sort of like saying like, oh, how good would it be to win the treble? We didn't really think too much of it, and then as the
Yeah,
season kept going, we're thinking, hang on a minute, we're onto something here, and
oh,
getting that result over Adelaide was massive. I think
yeah,
getting into the going to Oman, we're just going to Oman as Australian champions, so
yeah,
we're Australian Premier, sorry. So we're on such a high, thinking, well, we've got all this confidence. Let's take it into the game, and
yeah.
we dominated in Oman, and we got the result there. So with two out of three trophies, we're not done yet. So we'll get
Absolutely,
get that third one hopefully.
absolutely. And let's not forget the F3 Derby, core of
Of
concrete too, mate.
course,
The most
of
important of
course,
all.
that's the
We
most
can't
most important one.
we can't not talk about that, mate.
Of course,
Just just in that Adelaide game too, it's belting down of rain. I mean, the conditions were terrible. You had a decent crowd there too. People just said, "Nah, stuff it. We're standing in the rain." It was just don't care.
yeah,
Um, was it the fact that the occasion was just like because I would have thought that the ground gets a bit heavy and it's probably a bit harder to get through and stuff.
yeah.
Was there any moment? I mean, I know we sort of before we put the first goal away, was it like, is this actually going to go our way? Like this rain and all this is just not helping us at all?
Yeah, the crowd were massive that night. I remember it was bucketing down, and it was
Yeah,
obviously moved to a midweek, and obviously for pink round, so it was a good
yeah,
occasion. But I think that first sort of 20 minutes or so, we started a bit, I guess, nervous. We were thinking, this isn't going our way. Some calls not going right, and Danny Vukovic was huge that night. So sort of, I guess it's sort of the testament of our season is that we don't always start the best, but we our defense is so solid that we can eventually break teams down, and we weather that storm and then we break them down. So
yeah,
we sort of knew that we stay in this game, we weather the storm for the first 20, literally the storm. It was bucketing down, and
absolutely, yeah,
we got that goal. And then we thought, yeah, well, we're not going to lose from here. So I think there's an interesting stat that when we scored first, we haven't lost all year. So
yeah.
that was massive. So yeah,
Yeah, no, and it was a massive night, and I'm sure
yeah,
that everyone that was there, it was just for many of us who've been around for many years, and probably the ones with the English blood who really appreciate the team
yeah,
that comes first in a competition.
yeah,
But even afterwards, and I mean, and credit to you guys too. And I know you don't get told to do it, you do it, but you guys still in the belting rain, walked around the outside. You were shivering your asses off. You're coming right around. You're absolutely drenched. You gave us a go with the medal, which was appreciated, man. That
Yeah,
was a great photo. I'll
that's
treasure
good.
forever. But thanks for that.
That's good. No
But
worries.
man, that must be really important to you guys because it's not part of the contract. It's not part of what you do. But to see the looks on those kids' faces as you
Yeah.
guys go around, to you guys, it must just lift you, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, we love our fans and, the kids sort of motivate us to go out and play every day because at the end of the day, we're pretty young ourselves. So
Yeah,
we were in that position, a few years ago and just to see them and just so like anything's possible. So just keep your mind at it and just, giving just a little, even just a handshake, to the fans, just
absolutely.
saying thank you for coming. It's just the little things we can do because like you said, it was bucketing down. They
Yeah,
didn't have to come. You can watch it from home, but
yeah,
all their support this year's been immense. So, that's even the little things we can do just to say thank you, I guess.
yeah. No, and it was sense, and to know that you were jumping on a plane the next day as well was
Yeah.
just, we're telling you guys in the end, man, just get out of here, just go. But
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, we've got to make sure we see everyone. It was just,
Yeah.
but how tough was it? You wake up the next morning and you probably, the medal's probably still around the neck from the night before, and it was like, how good was that? But now we're jumping on a plane, we're going around the other side of the planet to play in a cup final. What was it hard to kind of regulate the emotions a little bit? Was it kind of like,
Mm.
yes, we've won, but we've got another one to go? How was it for you?
Yeah, I guess it's sort of hard in the sense that you can't really celebrate too much.
Yeah,
We sort of all were buzzing in the dressing rooms. We thought, well, that's one done, but it was sort of the next chapter. We were looking straight forward to Oman. We thought, all right, tomorrow we're going to get on that plane and we're just going to go get the job done and we'll come back and then the
yeah,
final start. So I think just, all the boys, like I've said before, the cultures, it's the best part I've ever been in, probably will be in. So
yeah,
just everyone being together, we had that set in our mind that we're going to go to Oman, get the next trophy. So
yeah.
buzzing, I guess, with the premiership, but looking forward to the next challenge.
Absolutely. And it must just add confidence, right? That you can, you win games against Adelaide that, as you said, probably started a bit nervously, but we still got the job done.
Exactly.
We ended up over there, so we know we can play in these big games. When you turn up in Muscat, to turn up the ground, and it's a ground that obviously, well, I'd never seen it before, but
Yeah.
you're walking on the field and you see a whole heap of Mariners fans there. I mean,
Oh
were you
yeah.
guys actually aware of how many people actually went over?
We got told there was a few supporters going. We know Steely's parents and
Yeah,
Faz's parents were going, and
yeah,
we didn't really know how many were coming, but
yeah,
just for them to even come at all, that's
yeah,
I tip my hat to them. That's insane, and they were our 12th player on that pitch that night, and they really helped us get over the line. And it was good that we could go over to them at the end and just sort of
yeah,
lift the trophy, and
yeah,
yeah, we saw a few of them at the hotel the next morning, and
yeah.
they were really happy for us, and yeah, we were really thankful and grateful for their support.
Absolutely. We had Erin on the show a little bit earlier, who was one of the travellers who went over there and said it was nice to shake hands through the iron fences that
Yeah,
get through there. It's not just like
yeah, the prison
industry group where
fences,
you
I
can.
guess.
Yeah, it is what it is. But it's a great occasion. But again, was that a little surreal? It was a few days after the Adelaide game, and there you are again up on a stage, trophy going up, the fireworks. Were you looking at each other a little bit, going like, pinch me now? This is, what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah, it was sort of like, do we get used to this? Because like it's not really going to come around often, but
Mate, make it a habit, man. We're more than happy to do this. Don't worry about
yeah,
that.
exactly right. But yeah, same sort of sense, I guess. We obviously knew that the day or before that we were going to play Sydney on Friday, so I
Mm,
remember Simo and Jacko having a chat to us, and they were so proud of us, and we were so proud of each other that we've got that second trophy. Let's get back on the plane now. Let's get ready for Friday. The recovery starts now, so
yeah,
we're still over the moon with what we accomplished, but we just want to get through the season, get as much accomplished as we can, and then once the season's done, every last football minute's been played, then we'll start celebrating everything we've accomplished this year. But yeah, I guess it's pretty surreal what we've accomplished so far, but yeah, we're
absolutely.
not done yet.
Not done yet. And I'm sure there'll be a few milkshakes in celebration as well. I think it was Jacko after the game who was saying that you guys actually came out and were talking to him about how you wanted to face that Sydney game, that you had some thoughts
Yeah.
yourselves on what to do. How did that come about? Was that kind of like a look, we haven't had success against them this year. these are our thoughts. And what was Jacko like to sort of say, hey mate, we've got a thought?
Yeah, we sort of put up a big poster and we had a bit of a group discussion on how we beat Sydney FC because obviously we didn't have good results against them this year, and as a collective, we all came up with different ideas and on how we beat them. Mentality wise and physically wise. So
Hmm.
we sort of tweaked our game plan a bit, and we thought, well, we've got this far. We can do what we can do. We can play our style of football, and we've just got to trust each other. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and we get the job done, and we bring it back home to Gosford, and we play the second leg there. So yeah, we're halfway done, I guess, and it'll be interesting this Saturday night. We know they're going to throw everything at us. They've got nothing to lose, so yeah, we're up for the challenge again.
Yeah, no, she's only half time, mate. And in
Exactly
that
right.
game too, I mean, again, I thought we actually started pretty well. I think in the first 10 or so, we seemed to push the ball around
Yeah,
nicely, and we sort of let them back into it a bit, and they scored their goal. But I mean, who else was going to score a goal but Nizzy right on the stroke of half
yeah.
time? How good was that to go into half time? That would have changed probably the mentality a fair bit, wasn't it? As in going 1-0 down to hang on, we won all and we've just scored. That must have lifted things a bit.
Yeah, I think, like you said, we started that game really well, and we were playing really well. We were actually breaking their press, which was good, and I think their goal came against the run of play, you could say, and Chrissy could have had a foul at the other end, wasn't given, and then they went down the other end and scored.
Yeah,
Um, and then I think we were a bit disappointed with that, and then we dropped our head for about 10 minutes or so and let them sort of get on top of us, but. Then we started picking things back up, and Nizzy scored that equalizer, which gave us a massive confidence boost going into half time. And we sort of all got around each other and said, "Hang on, we're playing really well here. We're getting on top. That they can't do what they can do for a full game. So
yeah,
just keep playing the way we play, keep going through our processes, and no doubt that we'll get on top of them in the second half. And yeah, we did. So half
yeah.
time, like you said, we go again Saturday.
Absolutely. And just, I mean, I know you're not out there at the time, but when a team goes down to 9 players and a couple of red cards happening and all that, everyone's like, oh, it was 11 against 9 and for this, that. In my experience, like it's actually tougher to play against 9
Yeah,
because they just drop into two blocks and it's
exactly
pretty hard
right.
to break through, right? But was it also a little bit in the legs too that maybe, the previous games are sort of coming back at us and it's like, you know what? We 2-1 up and we take that at the start of the day. We can press a little bit here, but let's not go stupid.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the travel, obviously we got back Tuesday night, I think, and we
Yeah,
played Friday. So obviously
yeah,
72 hours, wasn't ideal, but we went there and we gave everything we had. And obviously, unfortunately for Sydney, they got, two red cards. We'd like to play 11v11 because it makes a better match. But
yeah,
um, it happened, and they sort of, once they got their second red card, they wanted to sort of keep the scoreline respectable going into the second leg, and they sort of bunkered in a bit. And credit to them, they defended really well, and we
yeah.
couldn't break them down. So we thought, well, yeah, we can take it into the second leg at Gosford now. So yeah, it'd be
Bring it
interesting.
on. We'll take
Yeah,
that 2-1 halftime lead. And so
exactly right.
Saturday night, Industry Group Stadium, 20,059 people will pack there under the palm trees and the sauce bottles, and we'll be checking it out. There'll be a few Sydney fans there too, I'm sure.
Of course, yeah.
Um, Approaching the game, has Jacko basically said, brand new game, this is how we're going to play this particular game? Has there been mention of the previous game and the result, or is it just focus?
It's just, sort of. I think Jacko said it in his press conference: "Beware of the wounded animal."
That's
Like I
right.
said, they've got nothing to lose now. They can come out. They can play however they want to play. They can play their style of football. But we've got to be smart. We've got to have that game intelligence, and game management, and play our style of football. But we've got to weather the storm at times. But there's times where we can play and can't play. So we've just got to sort of be aware of that. And we've come into this week thinking, all right, it's another game. It's a new game, but we've sort of got a bit more information now, so we can
Yeah.
we can work on a few things. Got a full week of training in, which is
Yeah.
is unreal. We can get our recovery in as well. So yeah, we're buzzing for it, mate. Especially the fans, the crowd's going to be amazing. So it's going to be one for the ages, I'm sure.
Going to be a very, very special night in Gosford Town, I'm
Of
sure.
course.
And just on that too, just to finish off with, what's it been like to be home for the week? Is this just like unusual? Is it a bit did it throw your routine to actually be home for a day and not have midweek games and all that sort of stuff going on?
Yeah, I guess, it's sort of our season. We've been flying in and out and playing midweekers, rescheduled games. So to finally have that week off, it's a bit weird. So a few of us are still adjusting to that sleep, and I think we're all good now, which is good. But we're struggling a bit the last week coming back. So
Sure.
just to get that recovery right, and they've been, adamant on our recovery, just making sure we're going into the game fresh, and
Yeah.
we can do what we can do on the field, but making sure our bodies are right and everything like that comes around. So yeah, just being home just is so important for our recovery, and yeah, we're grateful for that the season. We get to extend another week after the AFC and play another game with a full week of recovery.
Absolutely, and fingers crossed there'll still be one more in the pipeline, but we'll get past
Yeah,
Saturday night first. That's where it is all at. Brad Tapp,
exactly
mate,
right.
thanks for jumping on and having a chat so close to kick off this weekend. Really, really appreciate it, mate. You've had a stellar season, and we're proud of everything that you've done. But we know that there's plenty more petrol left in the tank for us to finish off this season, mate. So all the best for Saturday night, and here's hopefully heading to a grand final. Hey,
Of course. Thank you for having me, mate. Means a lot.
no worries, man. We'll
Appreciate it.
catch up with you soon.
All right. See you, mate. Bye.
Cheers, man. And welcome back to the Marty Mariner Show. I know your eyes do not deceive you. I know we haven't jumped back 12 months either. Got a very, very special guest all the way from, well, I'll let him tell you where he is currently. Sammy Silvera, how you doing, my friend?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good.
And and where in the world are you at the moment?
Right now, I'm in Barcelona. Yeah, look, it's good to get away after a long, probably 10 months of no sunshine. So I needed to get out of the UK and get some sunshine into me. But yeah, it's been good. Yeah, come from Barcelona.
No complaints there, mate. Middlesbrough one day, Barcelona the next. That's got to be a T-shirt soon too, right?
Yeah. Oh, we hope so. We hope so.
You have to paint in that one, man. Look, let's just probably jump back probably a bit under 12 months ago. Obviously, big grand final win by the boys and all this sort of stuff, and then whole heap of movements happening, and you end up over in Middlesbrough. How did that all come about, and how did you find it initially?
Well, it was kind of like there was a bit of interest even before going into the final series when I was at Mariners. But yeah, and then I just all of a sudden I was decided to come over to the UK. I just my plan was still to be at the Mariners. I had another 2 seasons there, so I came over to the UK just to see my mum as she's living in London. So that was like my little holiday, and then
Yeah.
I had a call from my agent saying, "Oh, we've got some teams interested, and they'd like to see you." And then obviously they heard that I was overseas in the UK, so they're like, "Oh, come check the facilities out if you like it, blah blah blah." And then about a week of doing that, I've seen a couple of teams, and then Middlesbrough called and said, like, "Yeah, you can come look at the grounds, but yeah, we want to sign him." So,
Nice.
and it was kind of an offer I just couldn't really turn down, especially with like Riley McGree and Tom Glover being there. So it just kind of felt like a very homely club, like the Mariners are.
Yeah, nice. And I told you at the time too, mate. You know, with Ange over there and me being a Tottenham lover, I mean, you should have shot him a text. I'm sure you could have got in there at Spurs somewhere too, right?
Oh, I wish that'd be the dream. That'd be the dream. Something to aim for sure.
Oh, one day, mate. Oh, mate, you end up in a
Mm.
Tottenham shirt. Let me tell you, there'll be that'll be it all come through. So obviously coming from the Mariners, you know, even in the A League, considered one of the smaller clubs and the whole community kind of thing. Middlesbrough's a little bit bigger. What were those big fundamental differences that you picked up on straight away?
I think, well, in terms of actually similarities, the family side of the
Okay.
club, like the feeling of it, that's why it was a big factor for me for joining because it felt like a Mariners like team almost.
Mm,
But yeah, the difference, of course, the A League, yeah, it's not. So I would say at that kind of that level where the championship is relentless. Like I've been in the season. I think I'd played up to 15 games, and I was watching the A League, and it was just starting. So I played like half a season
already.
worth of like the A-League games already, and but the speed, the physicality, like it's different. It's been a tough year, to be honest. I mean, just adjusting to the weather.
Yeah.
Like I said before, it's been about 9 months without any sunshine. So, and you're waking up with a lot of darkness. So, it's been tough. I think I've had, to be fair, a good season. I've scored some important goals, and but I've also missed a lot of important chances as well. But like that's all part of learning. I think it's my first season, so the thing is, I'm extremely, and I say this a lot, like I'm extremely confident about next season, and putting some big numbers up. I feel.
Absolutely. Well, I know in chatting to you most weeks during the season, mate, I stopped asking you what the weather was like because I think you were getting the shits with just writing the same thing about the weather all the time with the rain. But
the jealousy, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't tell you it was like 35 degrees and warm here, did I? Forgot to tell you that one, man.
Great.
Yeah, you mentioned the physicality and the speed. Is that the fundamental difference between the game? Is that what you found probably the biggest difference at the start?
Yeah, I think so. I think in terms of as a general like comparison between the leagues, I think they're very similar. It's just obviously I feel the championship is a lot more like they both have the physical side and the tactical side both in the A League and the Championship, but obviously the Championship's just on a couple more levels above. And it's and again, like I said, you're playing. Sometimes you'll get like maybe you play Saturday, but for like half the season you're playing Saturday, Tuesday. So you got to be able to back that up as well physically. So it's hard. And to be fair, like when watching the Mariners, like they've done that. They've had the cup and they've had the league and they've gone on and they've got 2 out of 3, and then fingers crossed they're going to get the third.
Yeah, hasn't been a bad 12 months for the club, mate. I've got to probably give the hot tip from there. Playing under Michael Carrick, because to me, I mean, I used to love watching the guy play and what he could do. Is that a bit surreal too? Because obviously you would have watched him over here and watched him play, and then all of a sudden he's the gaffer saying, "This is what we're doing." What was that like?
Yeah, on first meeting him, I was kind of a bit nervous, to be honest. I didn't know what to do, but he was the most calmest person, and he still is. Like with every game, he doesn't raise his voice. He's encouraging. All of his staff are encouraging.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they won't yell at you, but they'll make you keep working hard. But everything, the whole season's been just encouraging. If you make a mistake, he says, "Go do it again." I don't care if you make 3-4 mistakes.
Yeah,
just keep doing what you do, or keep doing what you were signed for. So that's been the most like positive thing about it being here.
Absolutely. And I mean, I know that obviously us Mariners fans are pretty passionate about what we do, but English football fans are kind of a different breed. How have you found it with the fans over there? Because I've seen a few visions of you guys getting off the bus and a few fans meeting you out the front there as well. What's the fandom like over there?
Oh, it's crazy, to be honest. I mean, you get an average of 25,000 a game. But even going to some other stadiums where obviously our rivals in the league was Sunderland, and you go there and I think it was about 40,000. It's like it's just mad. And then I thought that was unbelievable. And then you go to Leeds, and it's just like we went obviously 1-0 up in the 3rd minute. They got one back in the 5th, and they got a second. But honestly, every time they scored, like they cheered. Like I couldn't even talk to my teammate by my side on the bench, or like it's just unreal. And it's one of the best atmospheres I've ever been a part of. But like especially in the Middlesbrough area, they're very passionate. Like it's a working area, so like that's all they have. And they love it. They love it. Like they'll get on your back when they need to, but they also cheer you as well. So. When you're doing well, I think that's general. Like obviously, fans are gonna have their own opinion and everything, but no, it's been brilliant, and the fans are amazing there, and they do support you well.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, obviously, you played at some really famous grounds this year too. As you mentioned, like Stadium of Light and different places like that. Was there any ground that you turned up on and you were a bit kind of, wow, this is what it looks like, sort of real? Because to me, some of the grounds that you play at are just some of the most famous in the country.
Well, yeah, Leeds for sure. That was
Yeah.
massive. That one.
Good old Ellen
That
Road.
was It was kind of just That honestly, the place is terrifying. And those fans are they're ruthless. But I think as well, a big one was Leicester as well. Just walking out onto that one, like seeing the caliber of players that they have, just kind of like
crazy.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, that was a good win. That one, I have to say, to do it at the King Power. So I'll keep that in the memory bank for sure.
Absolutely, man. I think I said to you at the time that's one of the better results that you're probably going to get for the whole season, and it wasn't even near the end yet. What about the season for you guys? So as a team, is there a view that there's another couple of gears to push on with next year? Because there were games this year you guys played absolutely phenomenal. Like you were playing teams off the park, but it just didn't seem consistent. Is that the view that you guys have got?
100%. I think we've shown that we can compete with the big teams. I mean, like I said, we beat Leicester home and away.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other teams, but I'm pretty sure against Southampton, we didn't lose against them. Again, those big teams, like we competed and we beat them, and we've shown that we can be at that level. I think just with the amount of new signings, I think we've had 12 in total. So it's difficult when you're trying to get in a bit of rhythm and 12 new players, everyone's figuring out the way we play, and then injuries as well. We had, I think at one point we had 15 first team contracted players injured. So again, having all the youth on the bench as well is difficult, and we had an extremely busy period when everyone was injured. So that's again tough. But I think when everyone got fit at the end of February, when we had a striker, Emmanuel Latela, he just once he got fit, got over his hamstring injury, scored. I think he's got 18 in total for the season in I think just under 30 games. So I mean that's unbelievable, and you can tell the way we ended the season was the way we can dominate the leagues. So I think if we did make the final series, I genuinely think we would have, with the form we carried into that, we could have got that spot to go to the Premier League. But again, that's the plan for next year.
Absolutely, and heading up to the Premier League would be a dream for us all. And obviously, you get to play at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so you can say g'day to Andrew while you're there too. Grab us a shirt while you're there too, mate. If you could do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I got you.
Mate. Can we talk about Socceroos? That was a massive thrill for you. I know, talking at the time, and it was just unbelievable. How did that all come about? How'd you find out? And how'd you find it?
Oh, to be fair, the whole since moving over to the UK has been just surreal. I think I said to my mum about 3 months ago, it's just sunk in. I played that many minutes for Middlesbrough where I didn't expect it, but then Socceroos as well, getting their first call up and everything. Again, it's tough. It's a new level as well. There might not be the quality of the teams that you verse might not be a championship level, but they show so much heart that they truly do fight for the badge or their country with some national teams. So it's been amazing, and then obviously to play at a major tournament, the Asian Cup, that was even more special. Being away in Qatar, to be fair, that was the only bit of sun that I had for a while, so that was good just for that point. But
very true.
I can't thank the people that have put the trust in me to put that shirt on, and again, hopefully I can repay them. And I just got to keep working hard, and hopefully I will do a lot better.
Absolutely. And what is it like to sort of go into camp and you look at? I mean, obviously you knew all the boys and they played from different. You're all coming from different parts of the world and trying to mesh together. That must be a difficult thing too, because you're playing under different coaches, different styles. How does that all work?
I mean, I think the Graham Arnold has to keep it as simple as possible with formations, but that's what he does well. he knows the strength of each player, and obviously he keeps it simple where he's able to just every time we go out there, everybody knows what they're doing. Even if we're new players coming into the squad, even for like when Josh Nisbet came in, he fitted in well. Like he knew exactly what to do when he got in. And he doesn't complicate it, and it helps us all because again we play different formations at club. We travel from Europe to Oz. Yeah, we're jet lagged. We train. We got 3-4 days, and then you're playing a game. So it's like you can't almost overload us too much. But again, when we do play, it's more about like again you're fighting for your country. That's what's going to get you over the line and get you results.
Yeah, 100%. And I know you have a lot of fun in the camps as well. I can't remember exactly, but I know there was a camera set up and they were asking about who you're following in the A-League, and I can't remember who it was. I know that you said Mariners and someone said Melbourne City, and I'm pretty sure you came back in and said something on the lines of 6-1 or something along those lines.
So might remember that.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, man. It was brilliant to see. And mate, talking about the Mariners, I know you've kept tabs and watching. How do you get to watch it over there? Is there a specific channel or is it through the internet? How do you get to watch it over there? Legally, of course.
Any possible way I can, to be honest. Sometimes if I'm sitting at training and I normally have it all set up on my laptop back at home, but if I'm at training, and mostly that's the time just before I go out, where you're playing. So I just put it on my phone, put a stream through Facebook or something. I'll find it somehow. So that works. But
yeah. And is it a little bit weird because obviously having such a cracker of a season last year, and then you sort of see new gaffer comes in, new team, but a lot of teammates that you've played with at the club, seeing them out there on the other side of the world still doing things, qualifying in Asia and doing so well. Is it kind of it must be a really cool thing to be able to watch it, but it must be a small part thinking of which I was kind of there doing it as well.
Oh, of course. I mean that it's again it's the opportunity I couldn't turn down for myself. So again, like I'd love to put on that Mariners jersey and play with them again. That's like I love those lads, and we created some amazing memories. But watching them, it's like the season that we had, that last season that we finished on was honestly one of the pinnacles of my career.
Yeah.
But to see them doing it now and to obviously possibly going for 3 trophies in a season, I mean, that's even better. I'm just extremely happy for them, and I know how much of a good group it is. So again, I'm just extremely happy for all of them.
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously, again, it wasn't that long ago that you were playing in these semi-finals, these big games that we've got a massive game, the second leg of the semi-final coming up Saturday night at Industry Group Stadium. Probably won't be raining, mate, but it did last week, so if that makes you feel a bit better about the weather. Just prep coming into those games. Is it more of a case of building up to the game to get psyched up for it, or is it trying to control the nerves, or does it depend on the player?
Honestly, I think I thought it'd be depending on the player. Like from when I was going into it last time, like I just like to be extremely chilled, have a laugh before a game. But it just seemed like even last season, and I think it'd be the same with all the boys there. Like, yeah, of course, like you're the reigning champions. There'd be a bit of pressure, but honestly, I think with the group they have, they're just chilled. They don't speak about the finals like it's got to be like it's like of course but they don't speak about it. They already know it. That was kind of the feeling that I felt last time. So I think it was quite odd because it didn't feel like a final, and like even going into the final series, it didn't feel like the season was over as well. We kind of knew that. So I think the lads would have that similar feeling. I think they'd be confident going into it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll be finding a laptop or something too, mate, to give it a bit of a view, which will be in Barcelona. It'll still be Saturday morning or something.
I'll be in actually Marbella when that's on.
Oh, right. Okay.
I go tomorrow, so I'm watching for sure.
There you go. So you'll be paying to watch it, man. Mate, it's been great to catch up with you. Good to see that you're doing well. Loving the haircut too, mate. I'm almost going to do the same myself. I just got to just grow it out a little bit from here, but we'll see how we go.
Why not?
Mate, you never know. Get myself a Sammy going on. Mate,
There
all
you
the
go.
best. Enjoy the off season, hey. Rest up, and we look forward to seeing you doing your thing for
Appreciate it.
Middlesbrough again next year.
100%. I really appreciate you having me on. And again, I'll be wearing my Mariners shirt when they're playing. So I can't wait to watch them play. But yeah, again, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, my friend. We'll catch up with you soon.
All right, take care. Thank you.
Good, Ledge. And that brings us to the end of our double episodes of The Mariners Way, episode 1 and episode 2. Hope you really enjoyed them. I hope you enjoyed the panel show last night. Aaron Morrow, Dan Challinor, and Dan McCamley from Coast FM 963. It was great to catch up with those guys and talk a little bit of football and about the Mariners season this year. Really, really enjoyed chatting with them. And, of course, tonight we caught up with Brad Tapp and also Sammy Silvera, a couple of legends on the field. Really good to hear from Tappy, so close to kick-off on Saturday night. We obviously wish him all the best. And Sammy Silvera, who's been a favourite of mine for a long time, and to have a bit of a chat and get him on to talk a little bit about what it's been like playing over there in Middlesbrough and the Socceroos and fond memories of the Central Coast Mariners as well. And isn't it great to hear that he'd love to wear that shirt again one day? Be good to see him back over. That is our show for today, and that's all we've got before the big game Saturday night. Hope you enjoyed them both. Don't forget, new Facebook page that we have. It's the one with the black background on it. Make sure you come and give us a follow. Hit that like button, and come on over from our original page, which will be eventually closing down soon. And all our content will be on the one page. So make sure you come and follow us over there. Alrighty, that has been the show. It's been an absolute ripper. It's time to get a bit of rest because it's a big game coming up Saturday night. Looking forward to that. And hope to see you all there. Make sure you come and say good day. And go the Central Coast Mariners. It's been the MartyMariner Show.